Having looks like,
Damn, I'm gonna look at Will Smith a completely different way now.
the baseball player?
Yeah,
Why?
I'm judging you. I'm judging all Will Smiths.
Your name is Will Smith?
Your name is Will Smith?
Rough.
We got problems.
That's crazy. And what's kind of crazy is it's kind of how it is. Not to say I'm not saying talk smack about Will Smith, but I'm saying you do look at Will Smith in a different light now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even that day, I was like, damn, I can't look at you the same, bro. I was a fan of you. That's kind of.
I'm still a fan, but yeah.
Got
Anyways,
deep early. Ready?
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What is up, guys, and welcome back to the Media Mixtape Podcast, where we talk about movies, music, and sports. This is your sports episode of the week. It's me, your boy Josh G, and sitting right next to me is my brother from the same mother, Obi Jack, a.k.a. Jacob.
What up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Media Mixtapes. Excited to be back.
Another episode. We should say the first episode.
First episode of the rebrand.
Yeah, you could call it a rebrand, call it a reboot, call it a refresh, a restart.
You can't call it a comeback because we've been here for years, bro.
Yeah, we talk about this in our movies and music episode. We'll talk about it here. We are kind of restarting the Media Mixtape Podcast, and it's mostly, honestly, it's mostly because we're changing the platform that we post our podcast on.
Yes.
In terms of usually our host site is SoundCloud. We're moving on from that, going to a different site. So that's kind of an opportunity for us to restart, go to episode 1. Obviously had to delete our old episodes as well. So it was kind of all part of the same process. But We're here, we're ready, we're excited to talk about some sports stuff. We are kind of changing the way the show is a little bit, minor tweaks here and there, adding a new little segment today we're actually excited for. Someone's going to pop in and give us a little bit of a take, if you will, in terms of sports. So It's going to be fun. Hopefully we can add some more fun things like that in the future. The show is going to be a little bit different, but mostly the same for the most part.
Yeah. For them, it should be. It should be the same.
Yeah, it should be the same. I sent you basically the notes for today's show if you want to take a look at them when we cover them. But we will be talking about some NFL. We'll be talking about some NBA on today's show. Just to kind of let you guys know, we're still going to stick with the NFL and NBA as our main topics for our sports shows. But that's kind of it for the intro, man. Let's get into it, right?
Yeah,
let's get into the actual sports stuff. Now, this week, Jake and I, we watch YouTube. We watch a lot of these sports analysts talk about sports all day, every day. I do, at least. I watch all day, every day. I'm watching some stuff about sports.
It's hard to less and less now.
Yeah.
It hasn't been
the same.
Because I used to watch Skip and Shannon every day, and now I look at their videos on the thumbnail pops up, and I go,
it doesn't draw your attention, or you don't really want to go and click on it. Yeah, I'm mostly watching a lot of Dallas Cowboys stuff, but I'll click on some of the big analysts every now and then when they have some interesting things to talk about.
Right.
I think it's kind of a general thing now. We all kind of go, if you're on ESPN or a major sports show or something or channel. It's like you look at it differently now. A lot of people, I think, look at it like, they're kind of just giving hot takes at this point.
Yeah.
And not really actually analyzing the game. It's not true necessarily. There are some who still...
I mean, the consensus is they're trying to get clicks, so they want to say something wild.
There's still some out there who definitely analyze the game, I think, in the right way. But I do think there's a lot of debate shows and stuff like that nowadays that kind of take away from actually talking about the game itself. So, regardless of all that, Colin Cowherd posted a clip. A video went viral on TikTok, went viral pretty much everywhere, to be honest, on all social media platforms.
Right.
Him breaking down the top quarterbacks in every single division. One in particular that really rubbed Jake and I the wrong way, rubbed actually a lot of people the wrong way, not just us as Cowboys fans. The NFC East division. When he got there, Colin Cowherd decided to rank the NFC East in this order. Carson Wentz, number 1.
Number 1.
Dak Prescott, number 2. Jalen Hurts, number 3. Daniel Jones, number 4. Now, Jake and I rewatched this video just to make sure we're hearing everything in context and how he said it and what he said. And word for word-ish, because I actually don't remember word for word what he said, but he said, Carson Wentz, Dak Prescott. It's a coin toss. I like Dak mentally. I like Carson physically. I say Carson Wentz. And so a lot of people had an issue with that. Not just Jake. Jake and I are Cowboys fans, for those who don't know that. But unfortunately, Cowboys fans.
This is a completely unbiased thing.
But I think this is the most frustrating thing, and this is what I always talk about when it comes down to the Cowboys, or in general, like our players. The Dallas Cowboys are some of the most disrespected players in the NFL because of the star on their helmet. I understand you hate the Cowboys, But for me personally, I can't trust you as a sports talk person. Like, in terms of, like, if we're going to talk sports and you're just going to crap on the Cowboys because they're Cowboys, yeah, it's fun and funny because you're hanging out with your friends, drinking beers. That's fun and funny. Like, you poke fun. But if you want to seriously talk sports and football with me and you're just going to say Dak Prescott is the second best quarterback in the NFC East because he's Dak Prescott and he's on the Cowboys, like, that bothers me.
Right.
It really grinds me because it's like I can't really trust what you're saying. And that's what bothers me about this with Colin Cowherd. It's like you make yourself feel uncredible. And I have a lot of respect for Colin Cowherd and what he does because I think he actually is really good at his job.
Right.
He just, for some reason, when it comes to Cowboy stuff, like most analysts, are kind of biased against them. It feels.
I would say he's like 85-15. Like 85% of his takes are pretty accurate. Like I don't think that. I think he's pretty good for the most part, but there's like 15% where I go, what?
Yeah, and I mean, that's like everybody, right? We all have our own takes of like, what are we saying?
Really?
You know?
Yeah.
To be fair. But those 15% can be kind of crazy.
But this is my thing. To continue this like tirade of like trying to make Carson Wentz a thing. Mm-hmm. Like since he had been drafted, it's been, how many years now? 7 years?
Yeah. Roughly,
6 years or whatever?
Mm-hmm. 6 years.
Of him trying to make Carson Wentz this, like, he's going to be good.
Yeah.
Bro, it's been 7 years.
I'll say it's Dan Orlovsky 1.
Yeah.
And then Colin Cowherd 2. It's Dan Orlovsky's president of the Carson Wentz
Dan
fan.
has even been like, all right.
Well, Dan's like...
I was wrong.
Not that he was wrong. I don't think he said he was wrong.
Not specifically, but he was like, okay, yeah, Carson...
hasn't been playing good recently.
Right,
yeah. I think that's what it is.
Before, it was like, no. Anything Carson did was
this is what's funny about this whole situation is that when Carson Wentz was finally traded back to the NFC East from the Indianapolis Colts, by the way, after just one season that wasn't a horrible season, but wasn't a great season either, but a bad enough season where the Colts decided after trading for Wentz for a first-round pick and second-round pick, that's ultimately what it ended up being, a first- and second-round pick. I think there was also some more compensation there, if I'm not mistaken. Could be just a first and second.
Right.
For a first and second, they trade for Carson Wentz and then immediately flip him for 2/3, which, by the way, is even a lot to get back.
Right.
But I think that speaks volumes. On top of that, the Colts also go and trade for an aging, about to retire Matt Ryan.
Yeah, Matt Ryan.
And it's like, and I think majority of NFL fans out there would say, yeah, Dak Prescott. I would take Dak Prescott over Matt Ryan.
Right.
Even the Dak haters out there, yeah, Dak over Matt Ryan, sure.
Yeah.
And so. Logically, you would see the Colts as an organization said Matt Ryan over Carson Wentz, which would mean you probably think Dak Prescott is better than both, right? So I don't know. It's just one of those situations where when it happened, the trade went down. We all saw it, and some jokes came out on Twitter, and it was like, oh, please don't, talk about the Carson Wentz debate. Like, please don't bring it back. Please don't make it a thing.
Right.
We kind of joked about it, like, yeah, no one would ever actually do that.
Yeah,
and
because
Colin
it's not a
Cowherd,
debate anymore.
Yeah, and Colin Cowherd is sitting here trying to do that. Now, It's frustrating. It's annoying. It's pretty simple to me. This is the actual rankings for the NFC East quarterbacks. I don't know how Jake feels about this because he could have a different opinion than me.
Well, but I have... Give me your rankings and I'll tell you.
I have the best quarterback in the NFC East being Dak Prescott of the Dallas Cowboys. The second quarterback actually being Jalen Hurts, quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
Then I have Carson Wentz at 3 for the Washington Commanders, and then I have Daniel Jones at 4 for the New York Giants.
That is my rankings as well. I completely agree with that.
I think it's just kind of one of those things of like, well, one, I know Carson's had a couple bad seasons.
Right.
Not great seasons, I should say. Last season he wasn't horrible, but still not very good. But, the Philadelphia Eagles, again, as an organization, decided, hey, Hurts is our guy.
Right.
We're going to go with him over Carson Wentz.
Right.
Meaning they think at least he's better than Carson Wentz. And so I think maybe production-wise you could argue not, but I think potential, talent, what I'm expecting this upcoming season, I kind of think Jalen Hurts is just going to be better than Carson Wentz.
This is what I'll say. This is what my point with the Jalen Hurts thing is that he hasn't hit his ceiling yet.
Not even close.
Carson has.
Feels like, at least.
It feels like it. Maybe he hits another, stride in Washington. He is with a good coach. He does have some decent weapons there. Obviously, offensive line is not great. Defense is okay. Mm-hmm. I think Chase Young has obviously been a disappointment so far. He's been good. I'm not saying he's been
good
trash.
Rookie year, up and down second year because of his injuries. And
so, And also, like, come on, I said that about Montez Sweat since they got him. Like,
what?
He's overrated. Montez Sweat is overrated.
He's pretty good, but I get what you're saying.
No, they were like this.
I mean, we expected this defensive line to be the best D-line in the league.
In the league, yeah.
Arguably, and it hasn't been.
Yeah. So, yeah, but I do agree with those rankings. I think Jalen has a high ceiling, and he has yet to hit it. Carson has hit his ceiling, and that's why I would have him third. And Daniel Jones should have never been drafted at the spot that he was drafted.
I think he's got a shot, Daniel Jones, now. I mean, of all chances, obviously. I mean, he's a young quarterback, so that's not like just throw him in the trash yet. I just feel like we were too quick with that right nowadays.
Yeah.
Let's give him a shot. He has a new coach now, an actual offensive-minded coach. Seems a little more. I don't want to crap on Joe Judge, but you know, Brian Daboll feels a little more football smarts than Joe Judge did. Not that Joe Judge again was
he just feels a little bit more prepared for the role. Of
he feels
head
a little
coach.
more progressive, in my opinion, with like the future. You know,
Right.
I just went and I worked with Josh Allen and I made him this guy who just had a big arm, no accuracy, and could run. I made him what he is. Maybe he didn't fully make him what he is. Obviously, Josh Allen did his own thing, but he helped.
We've had top 10 success, and
he helped with what Josh Allen did. So now maybe with Daniel Jones, he can kind of bring some of that magic.
Right.
We'll see. But yeah, those are the rankings I have. You let us know, obviously, if you guys argue with it. If you're a Commanders fan and you think Wentz over Hurts, then sure, go ahead, hit the comments. I actually don't really mind if you do say that. And maybe it's a toss-up. I have to look at every single metric, every single number. I know Jalen Hurts has had some pretty meh numbers so far in his career, so I'm not going to pretend like he's a monster. I like him. I think he has a good head on his shoulders, and I think he can run, he can move, and he can throw a little bit. I think he's a pretty solid quarterback. I always tell my buddy who's an Eagles fan, I'm always like, at his best, you hope Jalen Hurts is Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Honestly. And he can run a little bit better than Dak, but you hope he could be Dak Prescott.
I was about to say, like, and hopefully one day he can grow up to be Dak Prescott.
Exactly. And you know, I do hate the Eagles, and I will admit that. But it's honestly the truth, though. I think if you're an
Eagles fan, you can't be mad at that.
You have to hope that he becomes Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, at least some version of Dak Prescott.
We ain't forget when Dak Prescott was going through his contract shit, he was showing up in a Steelers jersey and an Eagles jersey. Yeah. With all the Photoshops. Like, we ain't forget, bro.
Some Eagles fans out there wouldn't have been too mad to see number 4 in a Philadelphia Eagles jersey.
Yeah.
So, moving on from that, there was one more division. I will say again, I've talked about it. I mean, Colin's pretty good at his job. I think every single division, he pretty much hit the nail on the head with every single division ranking quarterbacks. You could argue with some of them, sure, but I think he pretty much was right on with all of them. One that caused some controversy in our personal household, me, Jake, and our little brother Jess. We talked about the AFC North rankings as Colin's rankings were Joe Burrow, number 1, Deshaun Watson, number 2 in Cleveland, Lamar Jackson, number 3, and then, of course, Mitchell Trubisky is the 4th quarterback in the division.
Yeah.
A little bit of discussion, a little bit of a disagreement with Jake and I had. I think this, when it comes down to Deshaun Watson, or I should say that. What do you think, Jake? Do you agree with Colin Cowherd's rankings of the AFC North division?
No, and
Joe Burrow, Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson, Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah, so
Mitchell Trubisky, number 1, obviously.
Deshaun Watson is the best quarterback in that division. I know he hasn't played for the Browns. He could possibly be suspended. Obviously, that is all yet to be seen. So, yes. But in this conversation that we're having of, like, who's just the best quarterback in this division? Yes, Joe Burrow's a beast. But Deshaun is Joe Burrow on steroids. Yeah. He can run. He's accurate. He can run.
I should No. I should say okay. Yeah. I said but I don't want to make it seem like I'm just completely agreeing with everything you're saying. I'm going to say okay, sure. Go ahead.
So, he can run. He's accurate. He could get it down the field. He is an all-around good quarterback, Deshaun Watson. So I would have him number 1. Joe Burrow is obviously number 2. When it comes to the quarterback position, he is better than Lamar Jackson. Now, is Lamar Jackson more athletic and can run and evade way better? Like, we've never seen somebody like Lamar Jackson. I know people talk about Michael Vick, but Lamar is just on a different level when it comes to
running.
Yeah. And he's a good quarterback. He can throw the football. I've never been in that camp of like, he's just a runner. No, I think he can throw the football, but he's not Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I just think when you're comparing with Vic, I think you got to like throw it up in the air because I don't know who's a better thrower. I would say Michael Vick's probably a better thrower of the football.
Yeah. So,
but Lamar is a faster player.
So I'd have Deshaun, Joey, Lamar, and obviously Mitch is in the fourth.
Yeah.
Again, another guy who should not have been drafted at the spot that he was.
Damn, imagine if the Chicago Bears actually hit and took Patrick Mahomes. That would have been crazy. But, so I disagree with the list, but I disagree in a different way than Jake does. I think Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in this division. I think Lamar Jackson should be ranked the second best quarterback in this division. I think Deshaun should be the third. Now, this is no disrespect to Deshaun. I agree with everything Jake said. Deshaun's like one of the perfect, like, builds of a quarterback that you'd want in the modern NFL. He can run pretty good.
If you were creating a QB in Madden, it would be Deshaun Watson's attributes.
In today's game, he can throw the ball pretty well. He can run pretty well. He does everything really well. He for the most part, before this big scandal, big issue, legal issue he has, he had a pretty good head on his shoulders as well. So I think, he was a pretty good all-around quarterback, but Joe Burrow is number one, Lamar number two. And the reason why I have Deshaun number three is simply the situation that we're in. Deshaun Watson has not played a game since January 3rd, 2021.
Yeah.
It's already 2022. So he's already not been on the football field for a full year.
Right.
He's already not going to play for another couple months at least because obviously the football season doesn't start for another couple months.
Right.
And then on top of that, he may be suspended for I would honestly put my money on that he's suspended for the entire season next year.
Right.
And that would mean he won't play for 2 full years, 2.5 years of actual NFL football. And then he's expected to come in and now all of a sudden be a good quarterback. It's not fair, I think, to every other quarterback to try to say Deshaun's better than them when you just haven't seen him.
I'm going based off of just
what we saw
skill,
before.
And what we saw of Deshaun. But at his best, he's like a top 3 quarterback in the league.
But this what makes it hard is that maybe you can say that, but at his best, the last time we saw him at his best, Lamar was the MVP of the league. You know what I mean? So it's like, in that situation, it's like Lamar was better because he was the MVP of the league.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like, if you really break down the numbers, like you go down to it, I'm sure Deshaun had better numbers than Lamar, but Lamar's season was so electric that it was hard for people not to vote for Lamar Jackson.
No, I get what you're saying. Not
to say that Deshaun had an MVP season, but I'm just saying Lamar's season was so like everybody couldn't wait to see Lamar Jackson. He's going to get the MVP.
It's also, again, the conversation of how are you talking? What are we talking about here? You know, are we talking about the ability to throw the football? Because you think Deshaun will probably be the leader in that category, right? We're talking about who can run. Lamar is going to be that one, and then you can go down all these different numbers and statistics to prove which quarterback is better than the other.
Right.
I'm just going to sit here and say I'm going to rank Lamar better than him. Sorry, Mitchell Trubisky. No disrespect to you. I know you've been playing, but I'm still going to say Deshaun's better than you.
Yeah.
But I'm going to keep Deshaun a little bit.
He fucking suck.
I'm gonna keep Deshaun a little bit lower still because I need to see him play.
Yeah.
I need to see him play on the Cleveland Browns specifically. I need to see when is he gonna play. Because if he does get suspended for full season, I cannot feel comfortable ranking him high at all with him not playing for 2.5 years.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense to me. 2.5 years is a very long time. So as we've just felt with this freaking 2-year pandemic, right?
Yeah.
So. With that being said, speaking of Deshaun Watson, that's my ranking. That's Jake's ranking. You guys tell us what your rankings are for the AFC North. We definitely want to hear that in the comments on YouTube if you're watching there, or hit us up on socials, whatever you want to do. Speaking of a situation, obviously a very sensitive topic, but we haven't had a chance to sit and talk together, Jake and I, about this Deshaun Watson situation. So Deshaun Watson is now officially the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, obviously. We argued maybe it's not fair to rank him. I don't think it's fair to rank him high. Jake thinks maybe, keep ranking him where we thought he was before he stopped playing. But what are your thoughts of the situation right now at this moment? How do you view Deshaun Watson moving forward in the NFL? Like, how do you feel about this whole situation going on? And, obviously it's a sensitive topic. I don't want people to get upset at us.
We're gonna stick to football specifically. Yeah, we're obviously is a very serious situation that he's in.
But how do you feel about him with the Cleveland Browns and that situation?
I honestly, Cleveland was the last place I would have thought.
Yeah.
It's because there was talks of Atlanta, there was talks of the Saints. Who got under the cap somehow? I don't understand how they did it because they were like $700 million over the cap or whatever.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And didn't release any players, which is insane. But so I really thought New Orleans and Atlanta. Like, I think he's from Atlanta or he's from Georgia, I think.
I know he played for Clemson. So.
Yeah, he played for Clemson. And so those were the two teams that I expected. But both of those teams are not set up for success. Cleveland was interesting to me just because they do have a good roster. This is going to be the best roster that Deshaun has been on. And obviously, barring any suspension, I do think he's going to have extreme success with Cleveland. Obviously, they need to shore up their weapons because they don't really have any receivers right now. I think David Njoku just is demanding a trade right now.
I think actually they might have extended, or I know they tagged him. They tagged him,
but I think it was like a couple of days ago.
Oh, really?
That he asked for a trade. So
it's the second time I think he asked for a trade before.
Obviously, you could go build that in the draft. Their defense is pretty good. Maybe re-sign Jadeveon Clowney. I know he's still out there. But this will be the best roster Deshaun has been on. Now, when he plays, who knows? But it was the last place I probably would have expected. Well, there's a lot of other places I would have expected less. But Cleveland was not, even the fact that they were in the conversation was like, what? Cleveland, that's pretty...
It did come out of left field because we all thought about, I think it was Carolina was an option too. I know Clemson, again, he went to Clemson. South Carolina, he played there, so makes sense. There was rumors about that. There was rumors about, again, like you said, the Saints, rumors about the Falcons. I thought there was some interest from other teams as well, but ultimately him ending up in Cleveland was a surprise, but I do like the fit, actually, again, at him as a player. I'm super intrigued at how it's going to go moving forward. I mean, there's so much controversy around the situation, so it's something that we're all going to keep our eyes on, obviously. I think he can see some success there, but like you said, they need to find some weapons. They need to get some guys on that roster who can catch the football. Obviously, they had a couple pieces. They have Amari Cooper now. They're probably going to let Jarvis Landry walk as he's already moving out the door and talking to other teams.
Yeah.
David Njoku is going to get traded. They still have Austin Hooper. So they got a couple of options, but they still need to maybe get a secondary receiver out there. Their running game is still going to be there. Their O-line is good still, but not as good as it was. Now J.C. Treader may move on. So it's interesting. I have my eye on the situation. I think the biggest thing is seeing how long he is going to be suspended for, when he is going to be suspended, which is pretty much inevitable, I think, at this point. I'm intrigued. My eyes are on the situation, but we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. I think he's probably going to be the best quarterback Cleveland has seen. I mean, in
ever
decades, maybe ever.
Franchise history.
I don't know enough about the 60s and 70s game for the Browns. You know what I mean?
I mean, we would know the guy.
Probably.
We would know the guy if he was a legend.
But I think that Cleveland, I tweeted this, I think, when it happened.
Let's see.
Cleveland was used to Baker, and I'm telling you, I knew a couple Cleveland boys I was working on this little startup company that I was talking about, a sports show, basically a sports radio app. I was working with them, and there were some guys from Cleveland on the app, and these guys, they were riding for Baker Mayfield. Like, they were like, what do you mean? Like, you guys are underrating Baker? Like, they were fighting for Baker Mayfield for sure, a couple guys at least. And now that he's gone, I think Cleveland Brown fans are going to be a little bit surprised at how good of a quarterback, how big of a difference it is having a quarterback like Deshaun Watson as it is to Baker Mayfield. No disrespect to Baker, but I have my eyes on that Baker situation too. What do you think? Do you think Baker's going to get traded? Do you think he's going to be a starter for next season?
I think I think it's a smoke screen. Like, they're going to get rid of him at some point.
They are, but I think Cleveland's looking at, like, they're probably going to go. I would assume if I'm Cleveland, I'm in the front office, I would go to Baker's agent.
It's all right. They have Baker 8th in this top 10 list.
Top 10 what?
Of Browns quarterbacks.
Oh, okay.
That just shows you how fucking...
Yeah, how bad.
Yeah, he's 8th.
Who's number 1?
I'm going up to...
I mean, they've had the last 20 years have been bad quarterbacks. So.
Yeah. I'm just saying, it's just... so they have here Otto Graham, who played
Otto, man.
1946 to 1955.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's been a while for them since they've had an elite quarterback, and I don't even know who this guy is. So.
This is gonna be a big time change, I think, for the Cleveland Browns for sure. But I was saying that if I'm Cleveland, I'm in the front office. I talk to his agent and I say, look at the market out there. How many teams are really gonna want to go and trade a decent pick or a pick at all for Baker Mayfield? They might just wait for us to drop you and cut you. That's not what we want to do.
Right.
So why don't we sit here, let you get paid your 5th-year option? You get paid, it's like $17, $18 million, I think, around that range. Stay with us. We know Deshaun is most likely going to get suspended for the season.
Yeah.
Play the season out. Try your best to do what you can with this team. And then try to convince another team to give you money, because we're going to move on from you. It's your free agent. You know, it's your trial, basically. You know,
right.
Your trial for free agency next year.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's a weird situation. Baker already had this whole announcement that he's saying goodbye to Cleveland and everything, and being kind of a baby about the situation.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, and I understand where he's coming from.
That's what I'm saying. I was about to say, like, I wouldn't say he was a baby, because, like, bro, they're straight up like, hey, we're going to get a better quarterback than you.
Yeah, and also said they're not even going to give him anything. He requested a trade, basically. They're like, we're not even going to give him what he wants. So I understand him being upset for sure, the situation. Yeah, I don't want to say he's a baby, but I do think a little bit dramatic, I should say, to go ahead on social media, say goodbye before anything's been in place already.
Right.
Basically trying your best to work on social media to help force this team to get rid of you. But I would say, hey, look, if you're Baker, yeah, you could go get traded to a different situation and be bad because, hey, it's probably going to be the Houston Texans or the Detroit Lions, and even then, you might have to back up Jared Goff, bro. I don't even know. I mean, who would you say is the better quarterback?
I would say Baker, but yeah.
I maybe say Baker, but Detroit might think differently. You know what I mean? They might say he's the backup there. So there's not many options for him to play quarterback and start for quarterback next season immediately. So why not go play in Cleveland, a place you're comfortable, a place you know the teammates, a place you know how to play. You know the fans know you there. Play for one more season, kind of give it a last hurrah, try out for the free agency next year. That's how I would approach him and his agent, and then go from there. But we'll see. I'm expecting them to move him, like you said, at some point, either release him or move on from him at some point. But we'll see, because again, if that Deshaun suspension comes into play, they won't have a quarterback really, to start for them. Jacoby Brissett would be the quarterback, who's not bad, but I would actually lean towards Baker in that situation. So
yeah, and then you're kind of forced as Baker to I guess, because I got to try and.
Well, what is he gonna do? He's gonna get cut and have to sign as a backup somewhere at this point. Mm-hmm. So I mean, he could maybe go try to compete with Jameis Winston in New Orleans. He can try to compete with Marcus Mariota. But all these places, it's kind of a toss-up of you got to compete. You're not going to go get the starting quarterback.
Yeah, for sure. Go back up Tom in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad either, but does he want to do that? That's a question. So, interesting situation, of course. Obviously, I know a lot of people, again, have a lot of opinions on the Deshaun Watson situation. We have to just stick to football. I mean, at the end of the day, he is going to play. I understand those people who have those concerns and issues for sure, and definitely, we are, what's the word? We're
sympathetic to your opinion.
Empathetic towards that. I feel that. I understand how people feel, but at the end of the day, it's, Jake and I have to talk football, I have to talk sports, and he's going to be involved in a major way with the Cleveland Browns, and it's just what it is, unfortunately. So, moving on from that situation, though, free agency is more or less over. Mm-hmm. Pretty much a done deal. So I figured it'd be a nice time for Jake and I to give a way too early AFC Championship matchup prediction, NFC Championship matchup prediction. You get two teams, each conference. What do you think? Who do you think are the two best teams in each conference, essentially, that are going to be there when it's all said and done? When the smoke clears?
You already know the vibes, bro. Dallas Cowboys.
Completely.
No.
Who is going to be the NFC Championship matchup, the AFC Championship matchup?
AFC is bro, just throw a dart on the board.
Honestly,
it's so stacked over there.
There are so many. I mean, look, the Cowboys lost a couple good, 3-4 good names, all to the AFC.
Yeah. So
5.
I'm going to go, fuck it. I'm going to go Denver Broncos, AFC.
Okay. Who are they going to play? So two. So I want two teams from each conference.
Two teams. Denver, Kansas City.
Okay.
It's the obvious choice.
I don't know if it's possible that they could play each other because they've been in the same division. But
why? Because they go off record, right?
Possible.
Yeah, go off a record, right?
I don't know how it works. I don't know if it's possible for a team in the same division to make the AFC Championship.
Pick a different division.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I think it's possible. I think it is possible. Right now, because there's 7 teams in the playoffs. But.
Denver Bengals.
Okay.
Denver Bengals.
You think those are the two best teams in the AFC? Okay.
I don't know if they're the two best, but it's
look up the AFC teams first.
Toss a coin, bro.
Look up the AFC teams first.
I'm telling you.
I know. I agree with you. It is kind of a toss-up, but look it up. Let's remind yourself real quick. AFC teams, NFL.
Okay.
All right, don't go silent mode on me.
Sorry, my bad. It's just I was looking at them. Fuck it.
So we got teams like the Buffalo
Steelers,
Bills,
bro. Mitch Trubisky. No,
we got Buffalo Bills, Cincinnati Bengals, Vegas Raiders, Baltimore Ravens, Patriots, Chiefs, Colts, Chargers, Titans, Steelers, Broncos.
No, you
Browns.
know what? I'm gonna go Denver, Buffalo.
Okay.
Yeah, Broncos and the Bills, the B Bowl.
Okay. Yeah, it's very interesting. Like Jake said, I'm looking at these teams right now as I just rattled off a couple of names. I mean, you got Vegas Raiders. Yeah, people are going to say they're the 4th best team in that division, but you have Derek Carr matching up with Devontae Adams, his college teammate. I know some people are going to underrate that. That's really a big-time pickup, in my opinion. They're homies, they're friends. You get a quarterback, one of his favorite people to be around, to be a receiver for him. Also happens to be one of the top 2, if not 1, best receiver in the league.
Yeah.
And that's pretty.
So you got even if you say Derek Carr is just a good quarterback, like average quarterback, you have Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, Josh Jacobs, Kenyon Drake, all on the offense.
Yeah, just on offense alone, and then their defense isn't nothing to sneeze at either.
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, I don't know how, like, that might be the best on paper offense in the league.
I mean, I don't want to say that, but
bro, top to bottom,
top
bro?
5. I'll say top 5,
bro. Top to bottom.
I mean, the Chiefs are out of it now. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Chiefs are out of it.
Cowboys are out of that conversation now.
Absolutely.
Packers, you can't even mention them at this point.
Denver's questionable.
As
far as like being the best in the league. We have to see what Jerry Jeudy.
We said this. I don't know. You and I talked about this when the Russell Wilson trade went down. I think Russell Wilson had a better receiving core in Seattle.
Yeah, definitely.
So what's saying that he's going to be great here?
You know, and then on the NFC, maybe Tampa Bay challenges them a little bit, but they don't really have. I mean, I guess they have decent tight ends, but the Rams, like they're.
I get what you mean.
You know what I mean?
It's still in the conversation. The Raiders. I think if you're a Raiders fan, you can maybe argue. I definitely argue top 5. If I'm a Raiders fan,
they're definitely top 5, but I would argue they're top 1
on paper talent wise. Yeah. Okay, it's interesting for sure. Well, Jake has the B Bowl, Broncos versus the Bills. Which is interesting. I have a lot of questions about. I almost said Seattle because of Russell Wilson. I have a lot of questions about Denver. I do like Russell Wilson a lot. I think he can make it work there, but there's a big question mark on that team.
Right.
In general, a lot of people are happy with Randy Gregory. I'm not gonna shit on Gregory because I was excited if he was gonna stay with the Cowboys.
Right.
But it's a lot of money. And I was gonna say that afterwards. I'm gonna be happy he signed, and then also say it's a lot of money. But I'm just glad he's back.
Right.
It's a lot of money to pay Randy Gregory, Denver fans. If you're a Denver fan out there, just be aware he's going to get penalties. He's going to be offsides.
He's going to get you sacks.
He's going to get you sacks. Get you some pressure. For sure, he's going to get you pressures. I think that's the biggest thing. But he's going to have some boneheaded mistakes.
Right.
Some bad penalties, and he might be unavailable at times because he just doesn't really play every single game every season. He just doesn't do it.
Right.
So, but Denver has a big question mark, but, I'm not mad at it. It's Russell Wilson, Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
Cortland Sutton.
I'm also not mad at RG. Like, go get your money.
Oh, yeah, shout out to Randy.
Go where you want to be. You feel respected.
Yeah. If you felt disrespected by the Cowboys, I'm not mad at you at all.
Yeah.
No. I'm more mad at the Cowboys for handling that situation the way it did. But I'm not. I'm just sitting here. I'm saying I'm not crying that Gregory's gone. I'm a little sad, but I'm not like.
The same with the Amari thing. I'm like, I'm not super sad.
Yeah, it was a lot of money to pay those guys.
Making a lot of money to not show up in every game.
Yeah.
So
I love Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
Have his jersey.
Yeah.
One of my first jerseys ever. All my kids' middle name to be Amari when I have a son.
Right.
Not specifically because of him. It's a nice name also, but, I love Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of money to pay those guys, for sure. Yeah. So Denver, it is a question mark for sure with Randy, but I'm not mad at Jake's picks. Bills, Broncos is definitely a possibility for the last 2 teams in the AFC. Now, my 2 teams in the AFC, I don't think Cincinnati can go back. I know they did go get La'el Collins, a nice right tackle from the Dallas Cowboys.
Right.
They have a solid left tackle. They need to get themselves a guard. Maybe they're going to do that in the draft. So their offensive line will be better next season. I don't know if they can make it to the AFC Championship again, but I'm going to pick them anyways. See what I did to y'all right there? Bengals back in the AFC Championship.
Okay, versus?
I think that offensive line is going to be better. I think Joe Mixon's going to ball for them as well. I'm going to have the Cincinnati Bengals matching up against... I'm looking. There's a lot of good teams out here. You know what? I'm going to say the Bengals matching up against the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm rooting for them.
Wow.
I'm rooting for the Raiders.
Wowzers.
The Raiders, our dad is a Raiders fan. It's part of it. I've always felt like the Raiders are kind of the Las Vegas Cowboys at times. They kind of remind me very similar. Very similar in the sense of like
similar ups and downs.
Ups and downs. Where some are disappointing seasons.
Right.
Typically losing the playoffs a lot or don't even make the playoffs sometimes. So. But you know what? I think the Raiders got a chance this year. I know this is a really bad, ugly pick for a lot of people out there. I like the Bengals. It's basically the 2 teams I'm rooting for, honestly, to be honest with you. I like the Bengals.
A fan of these 2 teams.
I'm rooting for them. I want them to succeed, and I want the Raiders to succeed. Raiders, Bengals. I think they had a good matchup last year in the playoffs. Raiders, Bengals, AFC Championship. The 2 best teams on paper? Probably not. But that AFC, what is it, AFC West? No, AFC...
Yeah, AFC West.
West with Kansas City and everybody?
Yeah.
It's a very tough division. They're going to beat up on each other all season long. They might just be fatigued when it comes to the playoffs.
Right.
Raiders might just come out and make it. Who knows?
Yeah.
But Raiders might not even make the playoffs. But that's my
definitely
pick.
A high risk, high reward pick.
Yeah, exactly. If I'm right on that, no, it's getting clipped. Shout out to everybody in the future, by the way, for liking this tweet. that I clipped and recorded and posted when it was actually what happened. All right, now in the NFC, we have 2 teams, 2 picks. What you got? Without being biased.
Without any bias, as much as I would love for the Cowboys to be there. And I got to see their draft first. After their draft, I might be like, maybe. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to pick with my heart here. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay and the LA Rams. Meeting again. This time, Tom Brady saying, fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm eating you guys alive, and he's going back to the Super Bowl. So I have Tampa Bay and LA. Those are the 2 best teams in the NFC, in my opinion, right now, currently constructed. So obviously, barring any crazy drafts and like sleeper pickups in the draft, I think those are the 2 best teams in the NFC.
Yeah, I'm going through. I'm trying to see any like teams that can kind of be sneaky good. I don't really see too many teams out there.
I do think the Cowboys could be sneaky good, but
the Cowboys can be sneaky good actually. And I'm not trying to sit here and be biased. I was arguing with my Eagles fan, Cowboy hater friend, who absolutely hates the Cowboys and just never makes a good take on them ever. Yeah. He was saying that San Fran was for sure going to be better. I'm like, look, I understand San Fran beat the Cowboys last year in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But the truth is, Trey Lance is probably going to be their quarterback, right? There's no way you waste a 3rd-round pick and let the guy sit on the bench for 2 years behind Jimmy G of all quarterbacks.
Right,
no disrespect to Jimmy
Tom
G.
Brady
but
or Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, exactly. Move off of him already, you know? So I think Trey Lance, they're going to be their quarterback. If they do go the full bite the bullet, cut Jimmy G or whatever, trade Jimmy G, it's possible that, hey, what if Trey Lance doesn't really work? You know, so it's the way they want him to. Their offensive coordinator did move on. I know Kyle Shanahan's still there, but their offensive coordinator did move to Miami now. So, you know, it's still kind of a question mark. Is this team going to be as good? I think they're a bigger question mark, in my opinion, than the Dallas Cowboys. Although the Dallas Cowboys also have a question mark on their heads. You got the Rams. You got the Buccaneers. Who else? Cowboys, probably.
I mean, maybe the Packers. They really have no weapons.
They have 0 receivers, though. Like
for
0.
Aaron Rodgers.
It's just there's not that many good teams in the NFC anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
Arizona Cardinals are up there as well, right? Give them their credit. Give them their respect. They have D-Hop. They have Kyler Murray. Give them their respect.
Overrated, bro. Kyler Murray's
are they better than the Cowboys? I think most people would say that. Yes, sure. But other than that, there's like, what? 3 teams, and then Cowboys, Niners, really.
Yeah.
It's like really those 5 teams that are good in the NFC.
And that's maybe the Niners. Like, I think the Niners' defense is overrated. Yes, they have Bosa.
But Warner.
And Warner, but, like, that's kind of it. Yeah. Bro. Like, you don't really have
They got some names.
Like, Richard Sherman was one of their corners.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
they got some names, but
it's not like they're, you know, their secondary or their linebacking core is, like, insane.
Yeah.
They're all good players, but I think it's overinflated because of Bosa and Warner. So, and then on their offense too, I think is a little bit overblown. And obviously they went far last year, and obviously Jimmy G took them pretty far. But
Debo's unstoppable.
Yeah, Debo is a great asset for them, but I don't see it. And
you don't believe in them, really.
Yeah. I just don't see it. I think it's a little bit overblown how good the 49ers are.
Yeah, so like I said, I think I agree with Jake. I think the Cowboys could be sneaky good. The Niners maybe could do their thing. But ultimately, when it's all said and done, I don't think Tom Brady came back to lose early in the playoffs. I think he's going to make it to at least the NFC Championship just off of will and determination. Now you look at a team like the LA Rams who go out and sign Bobby Wagner. I just think they're a really good squad. They add another good piece. They're going to be good again. Obviously, the returning Super Bowl champs, you want to see what they do. So, yeah, I agree with Jake, actually. Same exact teams. I would say the Rams and the Buccaneers in the NFC Championship. Those are our way too early predictions. Obviously, give us your way too early predictions down below in the comments if you're watching on YouTube. Hit us up any way you guys want to. Oh, you want to hit up our special guest real quick? Before we hop off the NFL topic, which we've been talking a long time about NFL. Before we hop off the NFL topic, we're going to give a little bit of a special guest that's going to pop in here right now in just a second. He's going to give his take of the day. This may be a weekly thing on the show. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll see how he does. We'll see how he does if he's willing and ready to.
He or she. We don't know who it is. We know who it is. Here we go. He's coming in the building right now.
Jesse J's take of the day.
Jesse J's take of the day. Right there. The camera. Just pick up the mic.
Yeah, your mic is right there.
Yeah. He didn't want to be on the camera.
So
wait, say it. Let me see talk.
All right,
cool.
Jesse J's take of the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Tyreek Hill is still a top 5 receiver in the NFL, even with the quarterback change.
Okay.
So
there you
that's
go.
Jesse's.
Drop the mic. Don't literally drop it. Just put it down.
Put it
gently.
down.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jesse J. If you guys like this little segment, we'll definitely keep it going, but let's see.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Jesse J's take of the day. You guys heard it.
Tyreek
Hill is still a top 5 receiver, even with the quarterback change. Jake, sound off. How do you feel about Jesse J's take of the day?
Now I look. We argued about this extensively on Twitter. Josh was at work, so he was not involved in this. Tyreek Hill is one of the most overrated wide receivers in the NFL. Okay? Now,
Speak, Jake. Tell your
Tyreek
truth.
Hill is fast as fuck. I'm not going to take that away from him. He is dangerous, bro.
Okay.
I'm not saying he's like a bad receiver. But when it comes to like actual skill at the wide receiver position, like route running and getting separation, like he does get his separation with speed, but he's not like, and I said this, I listed him out. He's not a A.J. Brown or Devontae Adams or even an Odell Beckham. Like, to be able to take somebody, run a nasty route and get away from them, Tyreek Hill can't do that. Tyreek Hill is like, I'm going to get down the field with my speed, and Patrick Mahomes, my very talented quarterback, is going to launch it to me.
You think Odell's better than Tyreek?
At the skills of the wide receiver position, I think Odell's better.
So the idea of this, Jesse J having his take of the day, is having our brother Jesse J come in and give a hot take, maybe a hot take. Occasionally going to be a solid take, occasionally going to be a hot take.
Yeah.
Jake's over here with the hot takes. I strongly disagree with you. I agree with Jesse J. I think Jesse is right. Tyreek Hill is a top 5 receiver in the NFL. You could talk about the technicalities of what it is, how he gets open, and everything. At the end of the day, I guarantee you next season it's going to be a lot of slants to Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, and he'll be able to get open because he is fast as fuck, and he is one of the fastest players in the NFL. And they also have Jalen Waddle. It's going to be very tough for these cornerbacks to run around and chase these guys. You got to realize that.
No.
Say, for example, you're a fast corner. Your team has a fast corner. You want to lock him up. Go lock up Tyreek Hill. And by the way, you're not going to do that. But go try to lock up Tyreek Hill. Jalen Waddle's going to be running around the field as well. So I think he's still going to be productive. He's still going to be dangerous. I understand what you're saying because I do have a similar opinion about Tyreek. I don't know if Tyreek is this technician of a route runner. Is he a bad route runner? I don't think that's the case either. But I don't think he is Amari Cooper when it comes to route running, right?
Okay.
I don't think he is Devontae Adams when it comes to jump ball, 50-50 ball, go get the ball.
No, first of all,
Devontae Adams, no, he's not, right?
Devontae's better than him in everything.
And so, yeah.
Except for being fast.
And so I understand what you're saying. But you can't say that he's not a good receiver.
Okay, all right.
Here's where let me say this. I have a question mark. I do have a question mark on Tyreek. I think he'll be productive. I think he'll be good. Will he be as good as he was in Kansas City? I don't think. I'm questionable about it because of who his quarterback is going to be.
Sure, and I'm giving him that. Like, obviously, I'm not like, oh yeah, you better do the same numbers with Tua. Obviously not.
It's mostly because the way he got his numbers in Kansas City, the way he got his production, the way he helped that team win was his speed. But I think a lot of what they did in Kansas City was Mahomes running out the pocket, buying a little more time for instead of having Tyreek run north-south, you have him run north and then east to west,
right,
to get away from some of the guys. So I think that's where it's difficult. No one is going to be Patrick Mahomes except Josh Allen when it comes to throwing the ball down the field. So you can't expect Tua to do that. But I think there's a reason Miami went and spent 5 draft picks on this guy. I think that they think their offensive or their coach now, head coach, what's his name? Mike
Daniels?
McDaniels? I forgot his first name, though.
Isn't it Mike Daniels?
Mike McDaniels? I think it's Mike McDaniels.
Oh.
Damn. McDaniels. Their head coach was in the building telling them, go get me him. I could make this work. And he's the offensive guru. He's the offensive mind, part of Kyle Shanahan's tree. I think
5 picks is insane for anybody.
But I agree. But I think that there's a chance that this really works out and makes sense. But the question I have for you is, are you basing it solely off of what he's going to produce? Because is he going to be a top 5 production receiver? I don't know.
He's not going to be. He's not.
But is he going to be?
That's a fact. He's not going to be.
Is he a top 5 receiver? I mean, either way, though, is he a top 5 receiver?
No, let me ask you this. Okay? We're saying just top 5. Okay? Is he better than DeAndre Hopkins?
No.
So that's 1.
Okay.
Is he better than Stephon Diggs?
No.
No. Okay. Is he better than Devontae Adams?
No.
No. Is he better than Keenan Allen?
Yeah, maybe. I would say yes.
It's a debate.
I would say yes, though.
I'll give you that, though. Okay, and this one I'll give you. It's a question because he's been hurt. Is he better than Michael Thomas? Healthy Michael Thomas, is he better than him? We don't know what Michael Thomas is going to be, so I'm going to give you
we don't know.
Iffy.
We don't know. But
not.
two,
But he's not.
It's kind of a known thing about Michael Thomas, or it's like a thing about Michael Thomas. Like he's just a slant guy. Like he kind of gets a production off like.
He's not though. I mean, he's a good.
He's good.
Right.
He's alright.
Mike Thomas is better than Tyreek.
I don't know if he is, but sure, you want to say he's fine.
Go based off of his last production.
I don't think he is.
You don't think he's better than Tyreek?
No, I think Tyreek is better.
That's iffy to me. Okay, Mike Evans.
That's questionable because I love Mike Evans, but I'll say Mike Evans is better.
Yes. Is he better than AJ Brown?
I'll say yes,
bro.
I'll say yes.
AJ Brown's gonna eat you on.
I'll say yes.
No, he's gonna beat you on so many different levels, bro.
Okay, I'll say yes.
All right.
He's physical. AJ Brown's more physical. AJ Brown's stronger, bigger. I don't know. That means he's better though. That's the problem. Is like it goes back to like the argument we had about quarterbacks earlier, right? Like we had the argument about Lamar Jackson versus
All right, let's solidify the top 5. Okay, so number 1.
Tell me the top 5 receivers. Yeah.
Number 1 would be what? Devontae
Adams, probably. Yeah.
Number 2, Cooper Kupp.
D-Hop. Sure. Cooper Kupp. Sure.
Cooper Kupp. Number
D-Hop.
3, D-Hop. It's getting close to 5 already.
Number 4, Mike Evans.
Number 4,
maybe
Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, sure. I think a lot of people on whoever's watching this podcast is probably upset at us for saying that. I think Stephon Diggs is heavily underrated, and I think look at what he's done in Buffalo. Give him that credit. Like He was not in Buffalo. They were okay. They traded him to Buffalo. All of a sudden, Josh Allen's a MVP level quarterback. So give Stephon Diggs some credit.
Oh, here's a go. Okay, is Tyreek Hill better than Justin Jefferson? And I know Justin Jefferson's young and it's early. But you tell me who you taking. Who you taking? You have 2 chances to pick: Tyreek Hill or Justin Jefferson. Who are you taking?
I'm gonna take Justin Jefferson.
Thank you.
Because I think
he's a better fucking wide receiver, bro. That's my point.
This is what I want to say to people. I don't want people to think that I don't know what I'm talking about here. Okay, I do understand that Tyreek is a beast and he's looked at as this amazing receiver, and some people say just automatic top 5. I think that's a problem, is that people just kind of put him in the top 5 without doing what we're doing. It's comparing him receiver to receiver.
Yeah.
The hard part about not giving it to him for Justin Jefferson is because Justin Jefferson's put him like 1,400 yards with Kirk Cousins. Like,
right.
No disrespect to Kirk Cousins,
Give
but
him
like,
Pat Mahomes is like,
he might go up 2,000.
That's what I'm saying, but that's my biggest point. Is that like if you were to go, you got Mike Evans and Tyreek Hill, and you have to pick one.
If I'm drafting my team, I'm probably going to pick Mike Evans. Maybe it's a mistake, but that's where I'm going.
Yeah.
So I get what
that's
you're
what
saying.
I mean. Is like I'm saying when it comes to top 5 wide receivers who are like very good at their position and like a lot of things, Tyreek Hill isn't one of those guys. He's really fast. And he's dangerous.
And he can catch the ball.
And he's a top 10 receiver. I'm not saying like, bro, he's ass. Like he fucking sucks. I think he's top 10. I just think to put him in the top 5.
You would say like you said, Mike Evans, Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen, maybe AJ Brown.
Hopkins.
Like you might have those guys above him. Well, obviously the automatic top 5, top 4 we said.
Yeah.
And then you have Tyreek there in the 7, 8, 9 range. Okay, sure. I could see that because when it comes down to again picking receivers that I want on my team, I might stray away from Tyreek because I'm not. If I have a bad quarterback, say my quarterback is Tua, I'm not gonna go the Tyreek route. I'm gonna go the give me the best receiver in the league route. Give me the guy who's gonna get open, make the job easier for Tua, rather than Tyreek, who's kind of like I need the quarterback. Maybe Again, we don't know this. Here's what I'll say. This
I will come on this podcast and say I was completely wrong about Tyreek if he balls out with Tua.
What is the number of yard? And this may be unfair to do it this way, but what's the yardage number that he has to hit for you to be like, okay?
A G-bar. He's just got to get a G-bar.
So as long as he gets 1,000, you're chilling.
Yeah. If he gets 1,000, I go, oh, shit, he's a fucking beast.
1,000 because he had it with
because he had Tua. Yeah.
Sure.
And I'm like decent amount of touchdowns. He can't have like fucking 4.
Like 8, 10 range.
Yeah.
All right, okay. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see. It's a question. I do think it's the truth. We don't know if Mahomes needed Tyreek or Tyreek needed Mahomes.
Right.
That's a question mark for both.
Right.
Both players involved.
I mean, less of a question mark for Pat, but yeah.
I think so, but some people.
But still a question.
It's a question.
Right.
That game against Buffalo,
right.
Tyreek in that playoff game was going back and forth. It was a crazy game. Tyreek had a touchdown where basically Mahomes just threw a little quick 8-yard post up the middle to Tyreek, and Tyreek literally burned everybody to get a touchdown. A little two-piece.
Yeah, like what happens when you can't blow the top off the coverage?
Yeah, can Mahomes get the job done? We don't really know because he kind of always has that guy.
Can you dime somebody up?
Exactly. And he can. Mahomes can. He's done it before, but can he do it consistently? Right. With guys who aren't Tyreek Hill. So it's a question mark for both guys involved. I lean towards Mahomes. Mahomes is the more magical guy.
He'll be all right.
I think he'll be all right, but we'll have to wait and see.
Right.
Let's put a pause on that discussion.
So shout out to Jesse J's take of the day. He will be on hopefully every week.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
So yeah.
All right.
Forward to that.
Let's get through this NBA stuff because we've been talking way too long on NFL. Let's move on to the NBA. Lakers and Nets. The Los Angeles Lakers are now officially the 11th seed in the Western Conference and 99% probably not going to make the playoffs this season. Not even the what's it called? The play-in tournament. The Brooklyn Nets are the 10th seed in the Eastern Conference.
But they're locked in the play-in,
probably
right?
going to make the play-in tournament, yes, but still 10th seed. These are both two teams before the season started that we would have said they are the best two teams in the NBA.
Right.
They are now the top,
arguably
not even
the
10 and
quote unquote worst.
Yeah,
team
not even
in
10th in their conference, right? Each of them.
Yeah.
So the whole question I have about this topic is: are super teams just not it? How do you feel about super teams now that we have a team like Brooklyn who went through Kyrie, Harden, and KD in the midseason, had to trade Harden and how to build this other team, and then it's still not really working to perfection. And then the Lakers, obviously, Westbrook, LeBron, AD, that's good enough. They should be able to win, right? Are super teams done, or is it just a weird situation this year with these guys? Or how do you feel about the situation? What's happening? What does it mean for super teams? What does it mean for the NBA that these two teams are not doing good?
I mean, when you really break it down, I think it is. I think it's the end of that era. I think it's the end of the era of the super team, right? Think of the best teams in the NBA right now. They're all really good duos or a very well-constructed roster with one superstar, right? You have Dallas with Luka Doncic. Nobody's going to or Porzingis not even there anymore. So you have Luka Doncic and the Mavs playing extremely well, and he's the only star player there.
I think 4th or 5th seed in the Western Conference right
now. The Memphis Grizzlies. Extremely well-constructed team. Got young guys who are playing well together.
Yeah, some people at some point last year were like, whoa, the Grizzlies are winning some games because of Ja Morant. Well, they're 20-2 this season without Ja Morant.
Yeah. And so if he comes back, they're going to be something to reckon with. You got the Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis and a well-constructed team around him. Obviously, people would say Chris Middleton, but I think he's
a star.
Okay. I think he's a star. But I'm saying, it's not a super team.
Yeah. It's not. I wouldn't call him a super team.
You're the Phoenix Suns, who are first in the West, who have Devin Booker, who's obviously a superstar, and Chris Paul, who was a superstar at some point, but he's
aging point guard.
He's not, an elite James Harden level talent. He's Chris Paul, who's aging point guard, who's a good player still. But
can get you 15, 16 points a game, couple assists, and lead your team. Definitely, I think he helped them. Let's not take that away from Chris Paul.
Right.
He's probably put them in the position they're in because without him, they weren't doing too well, which I'd said literally so long ago, they just need a point guard.
Yeah.
So long ago I said that, and they got one. And but you're saying they're a well-built team.
If you look at the landscape,
that team too.
If you look at the landscape, the super teams are not having success right now. And they're also in a bad spot for the future.
Yes, exactly. And this is why I brought this topic up, because that's exact points that I was going to make. I believe, I'm tired. I'm tired of the NBA, the NBA the way it is right now. Honestly, I love basketball. I played basketball. I've coached basketball. I love the game. I am tired of the NBA right now, because Harden's been on 3 teams in a year. You know what I mean? It feels like.
Right.
You probably break it down a year, a full year, calendar year. He's probably been on 3 teams in one season, in 1 year. And so, not that it matters, one guy Harden's moving teams. It's just more dude, I like watching the Warriors who had Steph, Clay, and Dre and never moved on from that.
Right.
I like watching back when I was growing up, the Los Angeles Lakers who had Derek Fisher, Kobe Bryant, Trevor Ariza, Pau Gasol, Andrew Bynum, Lamar Odom. That was their core, even down to the bench where they had Farmar, Shannon Brown, Sasha Vujacic, they had Luke Walton. They had that core of players.
Right.
And they decided to go ahead the next season. Yeah, they had to swap Ariza out with Ron Artest, and that was it.
Yeah.
And they went back-to-back championships. I miss those years because those teams were built together. They stayed together. as a fan, my favorite player growing up was Shannon Brown. Why? Because I was able to see him there from
year after year.
From a player, I was able to see him year after year. Obviously, Kobe was my favorite player, but I love Shannon Brown because Jordan Farmer. I love Jordan Farmer. I love Luke Walton because I was able to sit there and watch them year after year and say, I like these guys.
Right.
I see them play all the time. They play well together. That team as well was able to go back to back because, hey, they were able to build a camaraderie with one another. Super teams work sometimes. LeBron James in his prime with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh and all those guys. Yeah, of course it worked because those guys are freaking amazing. And they had chemistry together.
And they were well built.
But the way these guys are building these teams right now, LeBron trying to bring in Westbrook with Anthony Davis, you have KD signing with Kyrie, and then they both say, hey, let's agree to get James Harden, or the front office getting James Harden. They're homies, and it still didn't work. So I just think that way of basketball is boring. It doesn't feel like these teams are giving effort.
Right.
It doesn't feel like these teams are working for it. Look at a guy like Damian Lillard, right? People are making fun of him, clowning him because he's chasing the grind, whatever. He doesn't want to run away from the grind. But I respect that he's able to stay there in Portland and be there for as long as he has been. He's probably going to move on pretty soon. But I want teams to go back to building teams naturally. Like, I think that's the most fun. I'm a Dodgers fan. And I think that's the most fun about the Los Angeles Dodgers right now. Yes, they went out and signed Freddie Freeman, for those who don't know baseball, signed a free agent, traded for Mookie Betts, whatever, these big stars. But they drafted 90% of their roster or signed guys who were basically done with their careers, kept them on the roster for 5, 6. At this point, it's been like almost 10 years the Dodgers have had some of these guys on their roster, and they're still back and they're still playing for the Dodgers. And you want to see that familiar face as a fan. I want to see these guys grow and succeed. That's why when LeBron James signed, the Lakers decided to trade for Anthony Davis. I was excited because it brought us the championship of 2020, but you lose the guy you drafted, Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, Larry Nance Jr., Alex Caruso is now gone. Victor Zubac. Like, you traded Jordan Clarkson, Julius Randle. Like, all these guys that you drafted, you watched them grow. You built them up to what they are, and then, or at least you built them up to a certain point, and then let them all walk away and go. That hurt me as a Lakers fan. I think I never really got over that. Kyle Kuzma as well. I think, that's what kind of hurt me in watching the Lakers and stuff, too, and not really want to be interested as much anymore. I just think that's where it's showing now on the court, though, finally. Right. Before it was working. The super teams were getting away with it. They were able to win. Right. Now it's like it's kind of might be a done deal. If your team isn't built well and they don't have a good chemistry about them, then they're not going to win the game. The Phoenix Suns love each other. You know what I mean? They're homies off the court. You see them laughing at each other. You see, I saw a video of Devin Booker and Chris Paul sitting together, and then they're FaceTiming some of their teammates, and then Mikal Bridges is something about calling old man or something like that. They're cool. They're buddies. They're homies. And most teams obviously are going to hang out and be cool. But the Memphis Grizzlies winning 20 going 20-2 without Ja Morant. Could you name their starting lineup right now? I mean,
no,
probably not. Right?
The only guy I can name is Dylan Brooks.
And he's probably not even a big piece of their team right now. So I mean, he's a big piece. But I think Jaren Jackson Jr. and Desmond Bane are kind of some names that are helping out a lot. But the point is, a lot of these teams building their teams naturally. That's the way to go for me. I hope the NBA can get back to that because that's what it is, man. Like, even with the Miami Heat, who haven't built their team organically and drafted everybody, they stuck with an idea and they went with it. Hey, Eric Spoelstra's a good coach. He's a good defensive-minded coach. He's an offensive-minded coach too, but I think he likes hard-working defensive players.
Right.
So does Pat Riley. So let's go out and build an entire team of hard-working defensive players. They're first in the Eastern Conference. So I think building your team the right way is something that I hope the NBA can start getting back into because it's the most fun, I think, to watch basketball. I enjoy watching the Memphis Grizzlies play. I enjoy watching the Suns play, the Miami Heat, the Mavericks. Even though the Mavericks struggle, Luka's a beast. So you can have that situation, where Luka's just so good that it's fun to watch still either way.
Or Milwaukee,
Milwaukee's fun to watch. Yeah,
sure. Milwaukee's fun to watch because it's literally they drafted this guy and
they
trusted him and we're just gonna keep working with you until you become great. Because we believe in you.
And imagine, I'm not even a Milwaukee Bucks fan. I was ecstatic to see them win the championship.
Yeah, I agree.
And, now we're sitting in a situation where, Giannis, imagine if you're a Bucks fan and, you watch Giannis get drafted, a guy from Greece, 15th overall pick, skinny kid.
Right.
He can't do anything, can't shoot. To now being the MVP, dropping a 50-piece and winning a championship.
Yeah, I saw that video today of him saying he wanted to be MVP when he got drafted.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And I just think that's where the NBA should get back to. Shout out to, all the stars who want to jump ship and go to wherever they want to go. I like that the NBA players have control of their futures to that point now. But I hope they themselves get back to, let's be loyal to this franchise as much as we can. Right. If they're not being loyal to me, then I dip.
Yeah, because
Damian Lillard, get the fuck out of there. You know what I mean?
I always make the argument for people like Dame or especially LeBron's early years of the Cavs. Like, they were not interested in building a good roster around him. And in that situation, you go, yeah, I gotta go, bro. Like, you're not helping me. Mm-hmm. You're not drafting well. The front office is not doing a good enough job to put me in a position to win. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go take my talent somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. And at some point, you could call it quits and get out of there. And I understand.
Especially Dame.
And respect it. KD leaving OKC, maybe not going to Golden State, but KD leaving OKC made sense.
Right.
LeBron leaving Cleveland made sense. Dame makes sense if he leaves. There's some guys that make sense. Devin Booker at some point was almost getting there where he was thinking about leaving. Made a little bit of sense. He's young, but he was getting tired. He was there for a long time. They weren't winning. But, it makes sense in certain situations. I hope now they can go towards staying, and I think they will, honestly. Like, you see Trae Young really ever leaving Atlanta or Luka leaving Dallas, although Luka may because he's getting tired there too. But,
right.
There's guys who I think will stay there for a long time.
I don't know. He sounds like he likes where I watched his interview with JJ Redick, and he's like, I just wanted to be in the NBA, man. So the fact that Dallas is the team that drafted me, like,
yeah, it's cool. He's happy to be there. And plus, the whole
Dirk. Yeah, he was like, I didn't care. I just wanted to be in the NBA.
Plus the whole Dirk situation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's like, Dallas is the perfect place because of Dirk and,
everybody.
He's like, he's like, there's a lot of stuff to do, but it's not too busy. So it's perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it makes sense.
Exactly.
We've been in Dallas, so that's like the vibe.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you can do a bunch of stuff, but
you can chill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to that situation. But yeah, so that's how I feel about the NBA. Hopefully, it moves towards something like that in the future. Hopefully, super teams are dead. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
But we'll see. You never know. Probably going to keep going for
unless
a little bit.
They want to be on the Lakers then.
Moving on from that, MVP race is kind of a topic of conversation. We'll go through this really quick. The top 3 guys who I think pretty much guaranteed one of these 3 guys will win the MVP of the league, whether you agree with it or not. I think it's going to be one of these 3. You let me know what you think, Jake. We have Nikola Jokic at number 1, 26 points a game, 13 rebounds, 8 assists. 6th seed in the Western Conference, though, 47 and 32. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 30.1 points a game, 11 rebounds, 5.8 assists. The Bucks are the 3rd seed in the East, 48 and 30, so not really too far off from the Nuggets record, even though they are the 3rd seed.
Yeah.
And then Joel Embiid is the 3rd option, 30 points per game, 11.5 rebounds, 4.2 assists. 76ers are the 4th seed with the exact same record, though, as the Milwaukee Bucks. So pretty much similar records all across the board.
Pretty much
the Nuggets
similar
are
stats.
6. Very similar stats, all big guys as well.
I think in this scenario, you have to come take this MVP from me. So nobody in my mind has taken it from Giannis. Mm-hmm. He's playing at an equally high level as those 2 other guys, and I'm the champion.
Yeah.
You got to take it from me. And I don't think nobody has, so I'm going to go Giannis.
That's fair. I think Giannis is definitely heavily in the conversation. Like I said, I think it's almost a lock that one of these 2 guys is going to make it unless they want to give it to Devin Booker.
I'm hearing Embiid.
I'm
hearing Embiid. I'm hearing Joel Embiid.
And I think it's fair because he's at early points
in the season. It's just hard. Like, I know Devin should be in the conversation, but, I mean, dog, he's getting fucking... Like, how many rebounds? Like 18 rebounds and fucking 8 assists or some shit like that?
Joel is getting 11.5. Giannis getting 11.7. Jokic is getting 13.6.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Devin. You just can't be in this conversation right
now. yeah. Rebounds and assists are helping. And Jokic, 26.5 a game, but 13.6 rebounds and 8 assists as a center. It's
like a near triple-double as a center is pretty insane. So, I'm going to say you got to take it from me, bro. If we're all playing at the same level, it's Giannis's right now.
By the way, just a major eye roll as a Lakers fan, as Anthony Davis says, what could have been if the Lakers didn't have injuries this year? What could have been?
That's
Anthony Davis.
It's not Lakers, bro. It's fucking Anthony Davis. What could have been if Anthony Davis didn't get injured, bro?
Anthony Davis is no longer going to be a Laker next season. Book it.
You think so?
I think the Lakers will trade Anthony Davis next season.
For what?
Bag of chips if they have to.
No, I mean, you're going to get a lot for it.
No, I think 2 first-round picks is the most you'll get at this point. Call up Oklahoma City, send Anthony Davis' ass to the Thunder.
So we're going to ride with fucking LeBron and Westbrook?
2 first picks. Let LeBron go wherever he wants. No.
LeBron's not leaving.
They're letting Westbrook go, for sure, too. Westbrook's gone.
Yeah, but how? What do you...
Either via trade or you call... You could call Oklahoma City and say, you take Anthony Davis, give us 2 firsts. We would ask for 4 firsts, but you're going to take Westbrook, just give us 2. So you're basically contract dumping Westbrook.
And then just I guess hope for a free agent. I don't know.
Yeah, honestly. I don't know. That's the plan. I'm speaking out my mind right now. That bothered me what Anthony Davis just said.
Yeah.
But also, I think Anthony Davis, at this point in his career, he's good, but maybe he needs a little bit of a wake-up call. He's not very aggressive offensively. He doesn't take care of himself.
I think that was just this year, bro.
He's never been aggressive offensively like that.
The best.
What the Lakers needed, he's never been.
What do you mean? Championship year, championship year, we were balling, bro.
He was good. We were
balling championship year, and then the fucking pandemic happened.
Yeah, he was good. For sure. I mean, he won the championship, so I'm not going to argue with you. Like, they won the championship, and Anthony Davis was a huge part of that.
Yeah.
But the last 2 seasons, he's been a huge part of the reason why the Lakers aren't good. I will say this, because our dad was talking about this earlier, actually. Westbrook is probably a bigger problem than Anthony Davis, but Anthony Davis is the solution he's just not being the solution.
Right.
He is the solution, and he's not. He
has the ingredients. He's just not using them.
He has the capabilities to be the solution for all Lakers' problems. But he won't do it.
I'm saying this year is my point.
What about it?
This year, obviously with his injuries, but also like this year, he was on some weird thing, some weird vibe to start, and I think hopefully he's on a different vibe next year.
Yeah, sure, okay. Yeah.
Maybe this is like
great basketball analysis, Jake. It's just feel different next year, yeah, AD.
Feel better next year.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping like he's on a man, fuck this. I'm fucking Anthony Davis, and I'm on.
I hope so because he could be one of the best, most dominant bigs in the league.
He is the best. He is the best.
Most
big.
Talented.
He is the best big in the league.
Most talented.
He plays like it.
No, he's most talented, but he doesn't.
No, I'm saying he doesn't play like it.
How is he the best big in the league? We have 2 guys that are MVPs right now.
No, listen. That's what I'm saying.
3 actually.
No, listen to what I'm saying though. That's what I mean. Is that he's the best big in the league when he fucking plays like it.
How he's playing now, or how you expect him to play next year? Jokic or AD?
I would go AD, and this is not a bias thing. No, it's not a bias thing. It's not a bias thing, bro. It's not a bias thing. Because we still have LeBron.
The Lakers could trade tomorrow, straight up Jokic for AD. You doing it? Not tomorrow, but offseason.
No, I'm not. I think LeBron.
Embiid for AD.
No, fuck no.
Giannis for AD.
Yes. What the fuck? Yes. Immediately.
Okay.
Embiid because I don't think he's hurt a lot too.
Yeah.
It's been the fucking same
Agreed.
thing.
Agreed.
And I don't think he has like the leadership quality that we need.
AD doesn't have it either.
AD doesn't have
it
either.
clear.
But what I'm saying is, and then with the Jokic thing,
stay with the same.
Yeah. With the Jokic thing, I think it's a fit thing more than anything. Obviously, Jokic is playing better than AD right now, but. Jokic and LeBron is not going to work.
Sure.
Yeah. That's my thing.
I got you.
Yeah.
I disagree a little bit because I think Jokic could have worked with LeBron. It's just AD could be that.
But Jokic's not getting 8 assists with LeBron.
Maybe not. But AD could be what Jokic and Embiid are.
That's my point. That's my point. I'm saying.
But he's not, though.
That's what I'm saying.
And he hasn't been for 2 seasons. But he hasn't been for 2 seasons.
Not 2 seasons, bro.
Last season was 1 season. This season is another season. That's 2 seasons.
Last season was
when the Bucks won the championship. He was not good. The Lakers won 2 seasons ago.
No, dude, he got hurt in the first round.
Yeah, but the actual regular season, he still wasn't that good either. Lakers barely made the playoffs. They were a 7th seed.
You're right.
So, anyways, little AD and Lakers rant. I don't know. I love all my Lakers, and I love Anthony Davis, actually. I just
You don't like LeBron, but you stop pretending. You don't like LeBron.
I like LeBron. This is the weirdest thing.
No, you don't. You don't like LeBron.
Let's talk about this in the first episode. I like LeBron James. I don't love LeBron James.
Okay.
I love all my Lakers.
Valid.
I don't love LeBron. I like LeBron.
And obviously he's fucking a beast.
But sometimes LeBron does shit, and I'm just like, I fucking love you, man. I love
Josh will be in our group chat like, fucking LeBron, and then like minutes later, like, God damn, he's the GOAT.
Yeah, joke around. But I'm frustrated because when LeBron, I've said this in the podcast, like I got to go back and find this. I want to say I said in the podcast, I definitely said it off the podcast. When LeBron James signed, I said, he's going to come, the Lakers are going to get really fucking old and have no draft picks. He's going to retire and we're fucked.
Right.
So if he doesn't give us 2 championships, it's not worth it. And I said that. I said, he's going to give us 1 automatically.
Right.
Here's Anthony Davis.
Right.
If he doesn't give us 2, it's not worth it because you
Right.
traded all this young talent and picks for one chip.
Let me ask you this.
Mickey Mouse ring.
I want to ask you this. Okay, before we go.
Okay, Mickey Mouse, big ass ring.
Yours is literally like a Mickey Mouse.
Fucking bitch.
I want to ask you this before we go. Okay, if some fucking way the Lakers make it into the play-in, right?
Okay.
If LeBron James goes from the play-in,
oh, are you kidding me? Yeah.
to the championship,
No, are you kidding me? Even if he just gets there,
No, I'm saying no win. I'm saying wins, obviously. I'm saying wins.
Even if he just gets there, go. Are you kidding me?
Go.
Dropping 30 a game and shit.
That's what I'm saying.
And look, I think a lot of people are going to argue he's the GOAT already.
Yeah,
they still do already, obviously.
Yeah. It's a good debate.
I think it's a debate. I mean, it goes back to preference in my opinion.
I mean, there's never going to be but that's what I'm saying, bro. If he gets to the fucking championship.
No, he's GOAT.
With Westbrook.
Okay, so as of right now, it's preference. I think Jordan's better. I like Jordan. I'm going Jordan.
Right.
If LeBron did that this season.
Right. Age 37.
Automatic. I know debate. I would never argue with you.
Right.
Ever again. But AD's already out. AD's already giving up. He's literally saying.
Well, with the loss today, it's like we literally have
to win every game.
Everything has to go right for us.
Win every game, and a couple guys, Spurs had to lose a couple games. Damn, it's nice actually. Have to wear it more out there. All right, last but not least, before we get out of here, MVP. Who's your MVP?
Giannis. I said Giannis.
Giannis? Yeah, I'm going Giannis too. I agree with Jake.
Yeah.
Shout out to Giannis. Last but not least, before we get out of here, who's winning it all this year? LeBron's not going to be in it, most likely, right? He's usually stopping everybody. He's not going to be in it. Who is winning the championship this season in the NBA? Who you got?
I think I said the other day, I think Milwaukee Phoenix rematch, and I think Milwaukee again.
I like that.
I think Milwaukee back-to-back.
It's a very interesting one. Miami Heat is sitting there at the first seed in the Eastern Conference. I'm interested in them.
Also, I want it to be Milwaukee back-to-back because I want Giannis to be like, I did everything I need here.
Yeah.
Let me follow in Kareem's footsteps.
I would like a matchup rematch.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
I would like to see Dallas in the championship.
Me too. Well, my number one was gonna be my number one hope and dream and team I'm rooting for. That's not the Lakers. I would go for the Memphis Grizzlies to somehow make it there. That'd be amazing for them. I would put my money down though, and I'm gonna say this is the matchup. It's going to be the Golden State Warriors out of the West.
Interesting.
And I would say the Milwaukee Bucks out east.
Bucks
Warriors. I would say
if that's the matchup, I would say Warriors.
Yeah, I would say the Warriors.
Just because I don't know.
Clay wakes up a little bit.
Yeah, I
know he's been kind of up and down.
Well, if they're in the finals, he's woken up.
He's woken up. Yeah. I think he wakes up. Now, obviously, I don't think he's asleep or anything, but I think he's
not to his full potential yet.
He's coming back from injury.
Yeah.
He's still kind of coming back from injury. I think if Clay can get it together, they can make the championship, and I would say Warriors win.
Yeah. I agree.
That'd be a sick.
So let us know down below in the comments or on Twitter, media_mixtape, who you guys got in the finals, who you guys got winning the championship, and we will talk to you guys. So definitely hit us up there.
For sure.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Was the outro?
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna be doing some draft stuff coming up.
Oh yes, NFL
Jesse,
draft.
Will be involved with that as well.
Jesse J is our draft expert, NBA and NFL.
Air quotes.
Yeah. I mean, media mixtape, this room, he's the expert probably.
He has the most knowledge, and that is for sure.
So expert.
Yeah. So we will be doing that coming up pretty soon. Definitely subscribe. We're going to do probably a live stream of the NFL draft.
Always love it. Favorite thing to do. Eat some pizza, drink some beer, watch with us. We'll do the whole entire first round, right? Do we?
Yeah, we did the first round. So we'll do the first round again because we got jobs and shit.
Yeah. But it's fun, though.
Yeah. So definitely subscribe for that. That is going to do it for this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Peace.